It's evangelism aimed at an audience that preachers may not be reaching.
We have to win this young hip-hop generation for Jesus Christ, and what we use is hip-hop music.
Our music needs to change.
Somebody doesn't want to be a player. Somebody don't want to be a thug. Somebody wants to live right. Say yeah!
Help us reach a lost generation before it's too late.
I want to talk from the subject, Shaking the Shackles. My brothers and sisters, for 15 years, I represented thousands of folks who found themselves threatened with or in somebody's jail or their prison. And I had opportunities to talk with them and to share with them. And one of the things I learned about prison or jail is that though prison or jail or being shackled and bound can be a physical state, it also can be a mental state, an emotional state, or a spiritual state. So shackles are not always physical shackles. And whether you will admit it or not, many of us are bound by some stuff and we are shackled. Yeah. We're shackled sometimes by old ideas that worked in the past but might not work today. We're shackled by some other things that God has held us to it, and we look at God and we say, but I like the way things are. We're shackled by our comfort level. Sometimes we get comfortable where we are. We're sometimes shackled by our fears. We're shackled by our discomfort. We're shackled by so many things, some emotional scars from other relationships and situations. We're shackled on our jobs. We're shackled in our homes. We're shackled. I mean, no matter how you look at it, many of us are shackled by some things. Now, we don't want to admit that we're bound by them, but but the reality is many of us are. Yes, some of us are bound by our attitudes, and some things are bound by other things, but we are all bound by some stuff, whether we'll admit it or not. Now, brothers and sisters, if you shackled, you're dead in whatever you shackled in, because that piece of your life has no life. That piece of you has no place to flourish and to grow. I want us to get rid of those things that we need to get rid of. Everybody that thinks I'm perfect the way I am, I love you, but you won't. Every day I have to look in the mirror and realize the mistakes I made. And that mirror is called the Word of God. And every time I look at it, I realize that His level's up here and mine is down here. And I'm still trying to strive to get up there. And every day I say something I shouldn't have said. And once in a while I disrespect somebody I shouldn't have disrespected. Or I go play, but God understands. So you gotta let some stuff go. Are you changed? What you bound by? Fear? You know, if I step out, I might be by myself. I might step into a place that's not comfortable. What am I gonna do? You know, when you got saved, you stepped out on the ground that wasn't comfortable. Jesus was a rebel. We lose sight of that fact. Jesus was a rebel. He went where nobody else would go. He talked and touched folks that nobody else would talk to nor touch. He healed and blessed folk that nobody else would even think about. And He gave salvation to all who would come. Sometimes in your Christian walk, you've got to be a rebel. If you're going to get rid of the change in your heart and in your life, you've got to be a rebel. You got to be willing to say, you know what? I'm willing to do this. And if it means I got to push some folk to the side, I got to do this. If it means I got to change how I think, I got to do this. If it means I got to change where I go, I got to do this. If it means I got to get down on my knees every day and cry and pray and beg and call on the name of the Lord, if I got to read my word like I never read it before, if I got to call some prayer words to intercede on my behalf, whatever I got to do, like Jesus, I got to be a rebel, and I got to do this, because if I don't do this, God can't work in me. If God can't work in me, He can't change me. If He can't change me, He can't build me. If He can't build me, He can't use me. If He can't use me, He won't bless me. So God, to get your blessings, I got to be a rebel like you. See, sometimes the chains are reminders of our sin, our sorrows, our setbacks, our suffering, and our shame. Yeah. And we gotta let it go. I too had some stuff I had to let go. I was wrestling with God, because God was saying, boy, you got to let some stuff go. You got to let it go. God convicted me that my hatred for my father was affecting me. Not just back when, but it was affecting me yesterday. So God had to convict me about that. Sometimes I respond to folk wrong because, I got this stuff built up on me, and I don't act the the way I ought to act sometimes because I got this stuff built up in me. So I'm driving down 94 with tears in my eyes because God has convicted me for it. God was saying, you know, you got to let this go. You got to shake the shackles because you got some stuff down on the inside that's holding you back and it's making you do some things that you don't understand, and it's making you somebody that you don't understand. But you got to let the hatred go because I'm not a God of hate, but you know, hereby perceive we the love of God, that you would lay down your life. And the question I got to ask yourself is, would you lay down your life for your father who you say you hate? So God had to wreck me last night. What you got that you got to let go of? God cares about us. You got to know he cares about us. Not just as a group. He cares about me. He cares about me. And you got to know that that's the kind of God we have, who wants to cleanse you, who wants to help you, who wants to heal you, who wants to bless you. But you know, you can't get it unless you go get it. He gonna lay it out and you got to go get it. What you gonna do? Let God work in you. Don't be afraid to let God work in you. You'll be amazed at what happens when God works in you. Shake the shackles.
This is Cheryl. I'm in Denver, and God has just blessed you. Thank you so much.
This is Joshua. Oh my goodness, you blessed me with that broadcast. You don't know how you blessed me. And this is something you can battle the world with, man. I showed it to one of the pastors. They loved it.
My name is Bruce. I just want to say thank you, sir. I really love this sermon song. I have volume 1, you know, Pastor Jones and Creflo and all them. Basically, man, I just want to tell you that this has been a blessing in my life.
I know sermon songs and life radio and all that stuff is bumping, and you getting your fun. But man, it was a wash away if you come out here to the West Coast. For real.